Hey, welcome to Backyard Bows. I am Brandon, and today we're going to take a look at Sitka gear, which is a system that we put together for ourselves, something that we can utilize all the way from spring turkey to the end of archery season in January. And what we're going to do is we're going to break this video up into two parts. This first part will be kind of a preseason, that early season, mid-season, and then the second part will probably be that late season, cold season. A couple other different ways you can look at it, especially if you're a beginner. So one thing that we like to do for Backyard Bows is I like to not assume that everybody who's watching knows everything about bow hunting, and some people are just trying to learn. So another way to look at it is by months. You know, we have kind of a gear and a system for each month. So September, when archery season starts. Also, we can use in turkey season, October, November, December, January, when it's freezing cold. And that's another way to look at it. And then as you get more familiar with bow hunting, you kind of can do it by degrees. So every time before I go out in the field, I check the temperature, I check the lows, the highs. I know exactly what I'm gonna wear based on the temperature that it's gonna be for that day. And that is the best part about having a system in place, ready to go, something that you're familiar with, that you can utilize, maximize for the entire season, and you have everything set and ready to go. So we'll start in turkey. So turkey season and pre-season, we kind of use some of the same things. So as it gets closer to that archery season starting, I am really particular about what I'm wearing in the woods, how I'm wearing things. Anything's prepped and descented. We like to be as stealthy as possible. So I'll be the first to say it, you don't need a full system. The time you spend in the field is 10 times more important than what you're wearing or what you're shooting. And I kind of preach that stuff all the time. This is just something that I've accumulated and put together over the past couple years. So also realize that too. I didn't just go out and buy the whole system at one time. A lot of this was pieced together, stuff being on sale, finding on sales online. I found an Outfitters that was going out of business. I got a lot of the cold gear stuff. So just start piecing together what you think is gonna work for you and what you wanna start trying out, and then you can kind of finish it up as time goes along. There's still things that I want, not necessarily need, but just want kind of to add to my little system. So right here we have the lightweight hoodie, okay? So this hoodie is a liner, it goes under everything, but you can also, what I ended up doing is I actually wear this a lot more than I had anticipated. I'll wear it through those hot days, turkey season. I'll also wear it like I did in the very beginning of this year for opening day when I got that buck. This is all I had on. It's really nice and tight, it's sleek. All of that stuff that caters to those bow hunters and function, this is going to do you very well. So another thing that I really liked about this, and it's same on the Apex hoodie, is it has a built-in face mask. This to me is gold. I hate putting face paint on. I hate having something cover my whole head. I want something to be able to be easily removed on and off. So this face mask is gold. Something else that I like is the hoodies. So the hoodies on everything, even when we get into the cold gear stuff, it's all very sleek and nice form to your head. And you know, as a bow hunter, you want to be able to use your peripherals. Just as a hunter in general, you don't want things hanging over and being too bulky, and it caters to that bow hunting function. Something else with this lightweight hoodie, it has these thumb loops right at the wrist to kind of keep everything nice and snug. Again, what I end up doing is I'll tuck this into these Apex pants, wear just this, have everything nice and sleek. It also helps keep the bugs off you. So you know, in spring turkey or even early season bow hunting, one of the last things you want to do is get into the tree and get eaten by bugs. You put the hoodie on, put the face mask on, tuck everything up, even put a nice little thin liner glove on. It keeps all the bugs off you. It makes your life so much easier. It keeps bugs out of your ears, off your eyes, face. That to me is gold. That was the best thing, because what I would do is I'd hunt the opening day, it would be hot, I'd get eaten by bugs, and I wouldn't go back into the wood for weeks. But as I've gotten older and as I've grown as a hunter, some of those early days are the best days that you can pattern that big buck like I did. I had this buck patterned down to a T, to where opening morning I wasn't in a stand but for a couple hours before I tagged my first nice big 11-pointer of the year. So those opening days are huge, and you want to get into the field even though it's going to be warm. But with just this on, it could be 80 degrees and you'll sweat a little bit, but it's not going to be something that's going to make you uncomfortable. So again, I wear this with these Apex pants. So when you get on Sitka's website, there are so many different pants. You start to wonder, and you can read what's what. And what I ended up doing is, if you just go on there and you're a whitetail hunter and you press whitetail, it's going to give you a set of gear that they designed for whitetail hunting. I kind of thought way outside the box. I wanted something that was going to be versatile from spring turkey all the way to the beginning months of whitetail hunting, and I ended up going with the Apex hoodie and pants for a couple different reasons. So it's a little bit thicker than the lightweight hoodie, so it's going to provide you a little bit more warmth. You can wear these just as they are with no liner. It has a really nice soft inside. They're super quiet. They're breathable, but they do allow you to get through a little bit colder weather. The one bonus that I would say that the Apex is going to give me is that it has elbow pads and knee pads. So elbow pads I'll keep in for spring turkey when I'm crawling on the ground stalking. Having those knee pads in there to me is gold. I usually field dress deer in the field before I take them out of there. Anything that I do on my knees, having those knee pads in there, I love them. They don't get in the way. They're just a nice addition to the pants. You take them out, throw them in the wash machine, put them right back in. So this Apex hoodie and pants is something that I use probably all through October, okay? All the way down to maybe that 60, 65 degrees. Something else I'll mention is I have this Groove Life belt that I love. It's a magnetic. Man, this thing is nice and sleek. I kind of tuck everything in, keep it all nice, tapered as much as I can so nothing's hanging off me while I'm hunting. So this is kind of that October. Then if you get into November, this whole set right here is gonna get me to the rut is what I try to say. Sometimes through the rut in Missouri if the temperatures are warm enough like we saw this past year. I ended up wearing this third part probably into December. It was so nice here in Missouri. I ended up wearing this for over 45 days probably. And this is my favorite thing I've ever gotten from Sitka. So two things. We'll start with the pants. We have a Timberline pant. Okay, this has suspenders. I love the suspenders. Again, when you're bow hunting, having everything really nice and snug, to me it just feels good in the woods. This doesn't have that much insulation, so what I end up doing is just wearing a pair of these Cabela liners with it. I've had these for years. These things I use probably every single time I'm hunting. You can wear any liners, long johns, whatever you want, something that you've descented and you can put under this, but these pants are some of my favorite. They have this extra thicker fabric for the butt and for the knees, something that's a little bit more durable. These also have knee pads, which I keep in there and love. And then my favorite piece that I've ever gotten from Sitka, I wear this thing on the off season. Honestly, this is probably one of my favorite pieces of clothing that I own. It's called the Ambient hoodie. Okay, look at the inside. It's super soft. It's very comfortable. It will keep you warm. So this liner and this hoodie together, I can probably get down into that 45. And I run hot. So I usually end up wearing something like this for the majority of the season, but this will get me all the way through November almost, okay? It also, on a day where it does warm up, it's not gonna fry you. It's breathable. Okay, but if it does get cold, it will keep you nice and warm. This thing I ended up getting, so everything is XL. I'm an XL. With Sitka, sometimes you do find something that's a little bit too small. So this, I got a double XL, which I think is important to mention because sometimes you just kind of feel things out. You have to send them back, get something new, but this ended up being a double XL. I wear this thing all the time. Favorite piece I've ever gotten. It's comfortable, it's silent, it's breathable, it's warm. I mean, everything that you want in a nice, good hunting hoodie matched with some liners. Now, looking at some of this other stuff that I wear, gloves, okay? I have a pair of Sitka gloves that we'll look at in that part 2 where we kind of get into some of that cold gear, but I usually wear just some fingerless gloves. These are made of alpaca. I'll wear these all year, okay? Unless I'm in some really cold weather, this is usually what I'll rock all year long. I usually have a hand warmer underneath my chest pack, so these will get me almost all the way through the season. I usually use darn tough socks all the way through the season, so I'll wear them from the beginning all the way till it gets almost freezing cold, and then I'll switch up the thin sole of my sock, and I'm usually wearing a little bit thicker boot too, which helps, but the darn tough socks are awesome as well. I think it's more important to have a complete head to toe, no breakup of a pattern more than what pattern. Whether it be real tree, whether it be bottomland, whether it be Sitka subalpine, whatever you choose, I like a solid pattern from head to toe. That's just my preference. Sometimes I hunt with being a little bit exposed. I don't like any breakup in my pattern, and I think that's more important than what pattern you're actually wearing. But again, to whatever you're hunting and the situation you're hunting and where you're hunting, that will all determine too kind of how you pick what you're gonna wear. I think the subalpine, even though it's not designed for it, like I mentioned a second ago, it matches the hardwoods in Missouri here absolutely perfect for the majority of the year. And so kind of that's what I stuck with and go with because I'm hunting turkey and deer here and in Illinois. This is kind of the pattern that I love and that I've kind of stuck with and put together over these past couple years. So on to some footwear. Again, we talked about this. We did a review on Dry Code, which was a really, really inexpensive footwear. And if you're buying a pair of rubber boots only for hunting season, I think you can go with a cheaper pair. If that's only what you're using them for, as long as they're snug, they fit nicely, they're comfortable. Most of rubber boots that I've come into experience with, especially ranging from 60 bucks all the way out to 250 bucks, they're not gonna just fall apart on you unless you're really wearing the shit out of them. But if they're just for hunting season, you can go with a cheaper pair, okay? But for those of you who are new also to kind of hunting, rubber boots are the best thing that you can put on your feet. Seal your scent in, they're really easy to de-scent, they're not gonna hold the scent, you know, so you spray them, leave it outdoors. This is what I will wear all through deer hunting season. Now, occasionally, I'll wear something else. So I have these Under Armour Rovers that I got this year that were a gift. I love these. They're extremely comfortable. They're waterproof. They're going to do everything that a rubber boot's going to do almost, but they're really comfortable. So I'll wear them in turkey season, I think this spring a lot more when I have those lot longer hikes. So, and again, for those of you who are also might be new, if you get a pair of gaiters, so these are going to go on over your boot and over your pants, they're going to do what rubber boots do by keeping your feet dry. Okay, the only difference is a pair of boots like this or a pair of nice hiking boots, you're gonna be able to hike a lot longer and be a lot more comfortable. They're a little bit more silent. This is for maybe a shorter walk in and out of the woods, somewhere where you're hunting heavily, but you don't wanna leave your scent. You know, and I'll usually wear these pre-season when it's really hot out. I'll wear that lightweight hoodie, the Apex pants, I'll get in there, change cams, do stuff like that. Again, all these scented, especially when we're leading right up to the season. So we'll also go over how we prep everything. So the boots, I always spray down and keep outside, okay? Anything that we'll do in the next video, the overalls, the bibs, the big heggy coats, I always leave those outside all through the season as well. Most of this smaller stuff, what I'll do is I like to keep everything out of the washer and dryer, so I will put it in a 5-gallon bucket in the shower. I'll put a little de-scenter in there, I'll let it soak, we'll rinse it out, we'll hang it up outside, let it dry, and then I tub it. Okay, and I'm gonna set that tub in my office. There's not a lot of people, not a lot of scents. Nobody goes in there, the door can stay shut. And then it's ready to go. Something else I did a review on, you need to check out marsupial chest pack. Now I've had tons of chest packs. I think this is one of my favorite. I used it all season. It has a whole bunch of different attachments you can add on to it. Marsupial in general is just growing. They have come up with more and more cool stuff on their website. Check them out. I think that's a great company. We love working and promoting companies that we think are passionate and creative about hunting and what they're doing. I think Marsupial is definitely one of those. But most of the time I'm hunting, I have a chest pack on, and then I got my Lucky pack right here. I'll probably never get rid of this thing. This is what I started out with, but it's a nice small pack. It can either go in the front, the back, but this will carry anything extra that I need during my bow hunting season. Sometimes you see these guys out there with these huge packs. I'm not necessarily sure what's in there or what they're bringing, if it's a fucking 5-course meal or what, but this usually will get it done with everything that you need for a day hunt. Okay, sometimes I don't even use it. I'm just rocking my chest pack. If I know exactly where I'm going, what I'm wanting, take a couple little snacks in your cargo pockets, and you're good to go. Above all the gear that you use, your time in the woods, the experience that you're gonna get from being in the woods is 10 times more important. So when I first started out, I was hunting with some khaki cargo pants and a camo jacket that was given to me. Okay, and that's how I started out bow hunting. Now I didn't kill a lot of deer, but I got to observe a lot of deer, and I got a lot of time in the woods, and man, those were some of the years where I felt like I learned the most. So get in the woods is so much more important than what you're wearing. If you can't afford any of this in your budget just yet, save up for it and start piecing stuff together. I think eventually you'll come up with that system that you're gonna wanna use and that works for you, and that's what's most important. I love Sitka for a couple different reasons. The first reason is quality and durability. This is an investment for me. So I am making an investment in my hunting, which I am going to do for my whole life. God willingly, all of this stuff is going to last through time. And that's something you can be reassured. It's extremely durable. It's great quality. It's something that you can go, I hunt hard. Sometimes we're getting really in the thick of shit, and this stuff holds up very, very well. So for me, it's an investment, but it is great quality and durability. Other thing is function. Is it made for bow hunters? So that's something we have to separate. Somebody who's rifle hunting out of a redneck blind, if you call it that, they're gonna hunt in something way different than somebody bow hunting 18 feet up in a tree, okay? So you wanna find something that is is catering to your style of hunting. Bow hunting, I think everything needs to be tapered really sleek. As it gets colder, you don't want to build up and add too many layers. You want things that are gonna work for you and the cold, and again, still keep you nice and sleek. I think that's something that's very, very important. The first system I bought was a Cabela system. It was like down feathered, it was huge. I looked like the Michelin Man, and it did its trick by keeping me warm, but it also caused a lot of problems in different scenarios when I was bow hunting from angles that I did not anticipate. Being so big, it does make things a problem. Third thing, you want it to keep you from the elements. So again, I don't have a redneck blind. I don't have a property where I can go hunt and I can set up my stands. I'm getting in and out. Okay, sometimes it happens fast, usually on clients' properties, friends' properties, family, whatever I can do, I can get in and out. Sometimes it happens fast, but I'm always exposed to the elements. So I want to make sure that I know every 5 to 8 degrees from that temperature fluctuation exactly what I'm wearing, because once I'm in the field, the last thing you want to do is come down early or leave early. So you want to find a system where you're very familiar with. It's prepped and ready to go. Things sometimes happen fast. You check the temperature. You know exactly what you're gonna wear. You put it on, you get out of there, and you can get into your tree stand. Again, sometimes I have very short windows from when I even know I'm able to hunt. Having a family of 5, running 3 companies, sometimes things happen fast. And then the bonus on top of all of this is it's extremely comfortable. So I love things that are comfortable. You're doing long sits, long heights. It's really nice when things fit well, they're comfortable, they feel good, and then above all, this stuff just looks good. So I love Sitka gear. Again, it is an investment, but you are getting your money's worth. I promise you with that. Is it a necessity? Absolutely not. My grandpa hunted in jeans and a red flannel shirt. Every single one of his hunting pictures, he's in the same red flannel jacket. It's not nearly as important as accessibility into your stand, hunting the wind, patience, concealment. All of that stuff is going to factor into more than what camo pattern you're going to use. And as you grow in a hunter, you'll get better and better and better at that stuff. Having something that you can rely on is my most important thing. So this is years and years and years of just my hunting experience and what has worked for me and what I can optimize all the way from spring turkey to fall deer. I hope you found something in this review that was helpful to you. Stay tuned for part 2. We'll see you next time.